Let's look back at India in the late 90s and early 2000s, when Indian IT was just starting to take off. TCS and Infosys were just beginning their journey. They didn't look like the tech giants that they are today, but they were slowly revolutionizing how we thought about IT, reshaping the tech landscape, both nationally and globally. Now, think about Indian banking. How HDFC and ICICI started as banks and slowly redefined how millions of Indians think about savings. How two private banks became the two largest banks by market cap listed today on the Indian stock market. Now imagine being an investor who spotted these shifts before they were mainstream. Imagine seeing their potential early, before anyone else did. Infosys grew its market cap over 50 times in 26 years. TCS grew its market cap over 11 times in just 19 years. HDFC grew it around 230 times in 24 years, and ICICI Bank grew its market cap over 14 times in just 17 years. This is the kind of growth story you could be a part of. Every now and then, some themes emerge. They don't always come with noise. They don't always trend on social media. But if spotted and picked up early on, they could prove to be game changers for investors. But here's the truth. Most investors only recognize these themes in hindsight, when the big moves have already happened. Now, what if I told you, right now, two such interesting themes are quietly being built across India and most retail investors haven't even noticed. One is invisible but powers everything you do online, from scrolling social media to using AI tools: data centers. And the second, a construction revolution happening behind the scenes: pre-engineered buildings, or PEBs. And it's changing how India builds factories, homes, even public infra like airports. Both are early, both are promising. For an investor, both are where serious opportunities might hide, if you know where to look. That's exactly where I come in. In this video, I'm going to break down these two emerging themes and show you why they matter to India's economy. You learn how these sectors are evolving, what is driving their growth, the potential they hold, and most importantly, how you as an investor can benefit from them. So let's get started with something we already know. India is consuming more data than ever. Every single month, we consume 26 exabytes of mobile data. That's the same as China and nearly 3 times the United States. But here's the kicker. While we are consuming data like crazy, India's data center capacity stands at only 877 megawatts. Now compare that to 15,930 megawatts in the US and 8,300 megawatts in the EU. We are operating at less than 1/4 of China's infrastructure strength. That's a huge gap between digital consumption and physical capacity. And where there is a gap, there is opportunity. Now, why should you care about this gap? Well, because this is where India's next big multi-decade growth story is hiding: the data center revolution. You see, India's data hunger is only going to grow. And the interesting part is, building data centers here is cheaper than anywhere else in the world. It costs roughly 45% lower to set up a data center in India compared to the world average. That's huge. To understand this better, let's look at how data center capacity has evolved in India over the years. The first commercial data center was set up in India in the year 2000. In the next 10 years, it grew at a snail's pace and reached a mere 122 megawatt. That's average addition of 12 megawatt per year. But now, with rising demand, the data center capacity is expected to grow at 30% per annum and reach 2,000 megawatt by 2026, with an investment of 50,000 crore over the next 3 years. Colliers is projecting the footprint to expand even further to 4,500 megawatt by 2030. Yes, you heard that right. This isn't just the hype. This is the physical bill for the internet you use every day. So what exactly is driving the sudden growth? It's not just about storing cat videos and memes. This is majorly coming from cloud adoption, AI, and data localization. But here's the cool part. Once these data centers are built, the revenues come in like clockwork. Think of it as a steady stream of income. And as demand grows, so do the profit margins. Now let's look at some companies that are already leading the charge. Here's the table. The players having the majority of the market share are Anantraj, NetWeb Technologies, Techno-Electric Engineering, and E2E Networks. More players are jumping on the bandwagon. In fact, TCS now aims to build 1 gigawatt of AI data center capacity in India. This will be roughly equivalent to the current capacity of entire India. From a business perspective, this is how the financial snapshot of top data center players in India looks like. The market is forecasting a revenue growth of 32% CAGR during FY24-26. EBITDA margins are also expected to remain steady for the next 2-3 years. But again, why do data centers matter more than ever? Think about AI and GPU racks, which are power hungry and are driving demand for high-density data centers. This is what tech giants like AWS, Google, and Microsoft are betting big on. Basically, if you're thinking of investing in data centers, pay attention to AI boom. The demand for AI-related workloads is going to make data centers more valuable. Another thing to keep in mind, edge computing and sovereignty laws. Don't get confused. This is all about ensuring data stays local and not just in the major metros. And let's not forget the policy tailwind. The Indian government is offering tax incentives, power subsidies, and treating data centers as critical infrastructure. This means lower costs to build and run these centers. That's a big boost for the industry. Now let's move on to the second emerging theme. What if I told you that India could build factories, warehouses, and airports 40% cheaper and 2 times faster, all while cutting carbon emissions? That's the magic of pre-engineered buildings, or PEBs, one of India's most underrated manufacturing revolutions. PEBs are steel structures built in factories and assembled on site, like Lego blocks, but for industrial construction. So basically, unlike traditional RCC, that is reinforced concrete buildings, these are faster to construct, more sustainable, and easier to scale for warehouses, data centers, and logistic parks. In India, the pre-engineered buildings market is expected to grow to 33,000 crores by FY29, and nearly half of the industry will be dominated by organized players. And right now, PEBs only make up less than 5% of the overall construction. That means we are just scratching the surface. We are still in the early days. As the demand for warehouse and logistics real estate continues to explode, PEBs are becoming the go-to choice for builders. Why? Because developers need speed and repeatability, and PEB delivers both. Now let's look at the numbers. For most industrial and warehousing projects with spans up to 30 meters, PEBs save between 40 to 50% in construction costs. Even with larger spans beyond 50 meters, while savings may taper off, the sustainability and speed benefits remain compelling. So what's driving this shift? First, big logistics players and data center campuses are turning to PEBs to save months in construction time. Second, automation in steel panel manufacturing and installation is giving established players strong competitive advantages. And third, government industrial corridors, SEZ expansion, and warehousing incentives are boosting the pipeline for PEBs. If you're looking to invest in this growing sector, here are a few companies you can keep an eye on. Pennar Industries, it's a larger, diversified engineering player with growing PEBS, that is PEB Systems contribution. Please note, Kirby Building Systems and Structures India is not listed on the stock exchange. InterArch Building Solutions, it's an execution champion, has a strong order book and improving margins. And Everest Industries, it has exposure to roofing and panels and can benefit if the PEB adoption accelerates broadly. So how can we spot winners in this space? Watch for these key triggers. First, big contracts from logistics parks or data center projects mean steady revenue visibility and strong demand momentum. Second, faster order execution and improving margins show the company is delivering efficiently and earning more per project. Third, falling steel or transport costs, which directly lift profits since PEB firms are heavy users of both. And fourth, new capacity additions announcing new prefab plans signals rising demand and confidence in future growth. And there you have it. 2 emerging themes, 2 silent revolutions that are shaping the future of India's economy. Both are still in their early stages, but both are growing fast. If you want to hear about the third theme, drop a comment saying theme 3 and we will bring that for you. Yes, you heard that right. Big multi-decade story. More players are jumping on the bandwagon. Bandwagon. और नीचे करेक्ट बस इधर से एक्चुअली और नीचे कर दो बिकॉज वो ऊपर चला जाता है इवन फर्दर टू 4500 मेगावाट बाय अब वापस ही नीचे नॉट दिस मच एंड डोंट फॉरगेट टू लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब फॉर मोर सच क्लियर इनसाइट्स
Investments in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.